Hello, I'm Bob Schieffer, and welcome to the CBS Evening News Online edition. Just ahead, in the path of Wilma, Jamaica and Haiti take a hit from the still powerful hurricane. Jim Acosta will have details. Also, as Katrina wreaked havoc in New Orleans, a FEMA official says he repeatedly warned of disaster but was ignored. Bob Orr will have that story. And petting zoos will show you why many of the popular attractions are about to undergo some major changes. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News Online edition. Well, Hurricane Wilma may not be the monster storm that forecasters thought it was at one point yesterday, but it still looks like a bad one with the potential to cause extensive damage and death. Here's how it looks from the space station, a storm that is now 400 miles wide as it churns toward the Gulf of Mexico. The good news, if there is any about this storm, is that it has slowed down. The best estimate now is that it won't hit the west coast of Florida until late Sunday, which means the residents there will have an extra day to get ready. Jim Acosta is there again tonight, and we hear first from him.
Hurricane Wilma left a scene of misery in the Caribbean, killing more than a dozen people in Jamaica and Haiti, then setting a course for Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. CBS News producer Ben Ferguson is riding out the storm in Cancun, where vacationers are packing their bags.
Looking out my window, I see 15, 20-foot seas here in a place that's really usually calm water.
While this monster storm is mellowing out, losing some intensity and slowing down, forecasters are no less concerned.
It certainly doesn't look as powerful as it did yesterday, but believe me, this is still a very, very powerful hurricane.
And that means the hundreds of people still living in this FEMA trailer village who lost their homes in Hurricane Charlie last year have only one choice.
If I can put an engine on this power chair, I'll have everything on my back and run out of here.
But FEMA Park resident Lily Marsons and her two kids have one question. Where do they go now? If you're evacuated, can you come back here?
I hope so.
You don't know?
We don't know. FEMA hasn't sent us no letters whether we should board up or, be prepared for anything. FEMA hasn't told us nothing.
Get in the house! Many here took their chances during the hurricane last year and experienced Category 4 fury. This year, Punta Gorda's mayor says storm gamblers are becoming storm scramblers.
I've heard people say, I stayed last year, but I'm not staying this year.
An hour south in Naples, which eluded Charlie, but maybe in the bullseye this time, the big concern is the area's large retiree community.
Harrington Pharmacy, may I help you?
Local pharmacies are now factories.
We have our hurricane kit set in a special cupboard, and we have our plastic containers that we put everything in and duct tape them up.
And your prescriptions are part of that?
That is part of it.
Authorities are starting to issue evacuation orders for parts of southwest Florida, but all of that could change as Wilma seems to be taking her time.
Investigators today, that message, like many others he sent during the crisis, was largely ignored.
And in my opinion, there was a systematic failure at all levels of government to fully comprehend the magnitude and the severity of the situation that was presenting itself on an hour-by-hour basis.
When the first levee failed, Bamundi frantically called FEMA boss Mike Brown, worried that floodwaters could keep FEMA trucks from reaching the city.
The only thing he said to me was, "Thank you. I'm now going to call the White House."
Bamundi, who spent 2 days himself in the squalid conditions of the Superdome, denied ever telling Brown the shelter of last resort was prepared for thousands of evacuees.
Marty later was able to communicate to me the information that, they had plenty of food.
Did you communicate to Michael Brown that there was plenty of food in the Superdome?
I couldn't have been any more clear to him that food and water was a desperate situation at the Superdome.
By day 3, with people still being plucked from rooftops and health conditions deteriorating, Bamundi emailed Brown with an even more urgent plea for help. The situation is past critical. Estimates are many will die within hours. "We are out of food and running out of water at the Dome." There was no response. But 3 hours later, Bamundi got a copy of this note from Brown's press secretary. "It is very important that time is allowed for Mr. Brown to eat dinner. Restaurants are getting busy." Brown has yet to tell his story to the Senate, but when he does, he'll face some tough new questions about the discrepancies and his role in the botched response to Katrina. Bob Orr, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The Army is investigating a report that American soldiers in Afghanistan desecrated the bodies of 2 dead Taliban fighters. Australian TV showed video of the bodies being burned, a violation of Muslim beliefs, and said it was done for hygienic reasons. The Australian report said American forces then used the incident to try to provoke other Taliban to come out of hiding and fight. The State Department calls all of this very troubling. In Iraq today, the military reported the deaths of 5 more American service members, including 3 killed by a roadside bomb north of Baghdad. Our Sharon Alfonsi is traveling America coast to coast, reporting on the impact of the Iraq war there at home. And here she is now approaching the Pacific. Tonight, on our road tour of the home front, she is in East Los Angeles. Sharon?
Well, for years, many people here looked at the military as a great way for low-income students to earn money for college. So no one had a problem with it. But now, with a war going on, some people are taking aim at military recruiters, asking them to leave their kids alone. In the quiet of his family's apartment, Jorge Alarcon puts on his ROTC uniform, a silent ritual that transforms him from a student into a soldier.
Mama, right down.
He makes his way down the dark streets of East Los Angeles to Lincoln High, an inner-city school with a long tradition of sending kids like Jorge into the service. You take good care of that
Yes.
uniform. Does that become part of who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Jorge came to East L.A. from Guatemala.
I came to this country for something. There's something I got to do to pay back.
He's the highest-ranking ROTC cadet at school. Get some air, Jorge. And teaches Keller Guard classes. He tried to teach me.
And I'm not going to shoot anyone, right?
Nah, you won't shoot
good.
anybody.
Clearly, the military isn't for everyone. But Jorge says it makes perfect sense to him.
And I need money for the college, and my family does have to support my little brother, my little sister. So.
He says the Marines will help him become a dentist.
There's a good chance if you get in the Marines in the next few years, you could end up in Iraq.
Probably. I really don't think so.
But it's wartime.
Doesn't mean you're going to get you like right away.
I don't like to see our students exploited, taken advantage of.
But many here say these low-income students are being exploited by recruiters.
Why are they coming here?
I think they're coming here because it's a low-income neighborhood.
Are you dancers, drill?
Administrator Cynthia High is part of a growing group of parents and teachers who want to restrict recruiters' access to kids on campus.
I get the feeling that they feel like it's their turf, it's their territory.
But if you bring in college recruiters, what's wrong with bringing in military recruiters?
If it were done equitably, I wouldn't have as much of an argument with that.
Do the kids, in your opinion, think it's the only option for them?
I think sometimes they do think it's the only option.
Jorge says it's the best option for him. He doesn't feel preyed upon. He feels proud.
Everybody can have this type of honor, you could say. Holding a rifle and wearing a uniform. Not a lot of people get to do that.
And Jorge says the only way he can afford college is if the military pays for it. And if that means going to war first, he says it's worth it. Bob?
Well, Sharon, you started 2 weeks ago at Parris Island, South Carolina. Where do you wind it up tomorrow?
Well, we're going to end tomorrow in San Diego, California. We're going to revisit a soldier who had to leave a sick child behind when he left for Iraq, and we're going to see how they're all doing now.
All right. More stories are just a click away, but don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Friday's broadcast, what you should know about bird flu in a consumer alert. And we'll have the very latest on Hurricane Wilma. For CBSNews.com, I'm Bob Schieffer.